Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about the newly released. It's the Florasis. It's called the Nomadic Glam Collection, and I think this looks really beautiful. When I first saw pictures of this, I thought this is definitely my type of collection. The whole theme is beautiful. It is the open country and horses and freedom. And those of you that have watched my other videos know that I live in a rural area in New Zealand, so this type of collection is right down my alley. And I just thought the packaging and the eyeshadows, powders, blushes, lipsticks that came with it just look so gorgeous. And then I received an email from Florasis. They've sent me PR before and I've really enjoyed their products. But this time they reached out and said they would like to sponsor a video using the Nomadic Glam Collection. So I said yes, because I really love their other products that they sent to me. And I've been really enjoying working with Amanda from Florasis. She is really friendly and been really great to deal with. So this whole video is kindly sponsored by Florasis. So all my skincare is done for the morning, and the last step is of course my favorite sunscreen, and I did that about 15 minutes ago, and I've also applied primer. So the foundation that I'm going to use today, it is the Florasis one. And this was sent to me last year. I really like this foundation. It has a fairly long name. It's called the Floral Essences Balancing Fitting Foundation. And this is the packaging that it comes in. I showed it, like I said, in a previous video. It is just absolutely stunning. Now, those of you that haven't seen my other videos before, I am 54 years old and I have oily skin. It is the middle of summer here now in New Zealand, so the weather is really warm, and I have been using this foundation during the hotter days and it lasts really well. It gives a beautiful, soft, blurring finish. And the other day, last weekend, I had to go out all day. It was a very long weekend, actually, going to dog shows. And one of the days, the foundation that I wore was this one, and it lasted really beautifully. Doesn't need touching up during the day, and those are the type of foundations that I really like, especially when I'm going to be out all day. I think the shade is in 35, but everything that I'm putting on my face today, it will be listed and linked in the description box below. So I'm just going to do just the left side of my face first, and today I'm going to put it on with a beauty blender. Now this foundation goes on beautifully using either a beauty blender or a brush. The other day when I used it, I used a brush, but either way, type of sponge or a brush, it does go on really lovely. This can be sheared out fairly light. I would say that the finish of this goes towards, I build it up to a strong medium. The other thing that I really love about this foundation, and it's like all the other products from Florasis, is that it is infused with floral and botanical essences. And when I feel it, it doesn't at all feel like a flat mat. And the other times that I wore it, and during that whole day, like I said, when I went out for the day and other times that I use it, I do lightly powder it as well. So the other day when I received the products from Florasis, inside was this really beautiful bag. It's got a little tag there, and on the outside it's got the symbol that also is on the products from the Nomadic Glam Collection as well. And it also has that same nomadic theme. It is really lovely packaging. And each of the products that I received also followed with that theme. So it is a cardboard, again with that symbol on there, that is also on the actual makeup products as well. And then you just open it up. It has little tabs on each side. Same packaging for the different products that I received. It is really lovely, and it is a really beautiful theme. And these are also these are the liquid lipsticks that I received as well, and again in the same type of packaging. So I will be swatching all the products that I received. They've also got in this collection a beautiful, beautiful blush, and I was really looking forward to trying it out, but unfortunately I didn't receive that, and the shade just looks stunning, and it acts like a cream and it but it performs also and dries down to a powder. And I have seen 1 or 2 other videos that do feature this blush, and I just think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I've now just popped on just a tiny bit of concealer because I took the foundation under my eyes as well, and it does cover fairly well, but I just needed that extra little bit of concealer because I do have quite prominent veins under each eye, but just a tiny amount. I've also put some eyeshadow primer on as well because I have oily skin. I also have oily eyelids. Now, last year when Florasis sent me some PR, they also sent me one of their eyebrow pencils. The packaging is beautiful, and it also feels quite weighty, and the little brush on the end, the spoolie, that is really sturdy as well, and just helps to give my eyebrows a bit of a brush and keep them under control. I also find that it goes on really easily, and it also is very long wearing. Florasis did send me a couple of different powders, and last year they also sent me a powder as well. Another one that they sent me last year, it was a loose powder, and this is the packaging that it came in. This powder is super fine. It also has a really beautiful coloured little puff in it as well. So this one isn't part of the Nomadic Glam collection. The powder itself is just, it is super fine. And it also helps with just softly mattifying my skin as well. Now, again, it's not drying in any way, but it does help with that oil control. And if I tap it there, I think you may be able to see it on the camera, that powder come up. And when you feel it, it is just super fine. Now, with the powders that they sent me with this collection, I was really excited because these are pressed powders and not the loose powder that I just showed you. And although I use a lot of loose powders, I really like a pressed powder because I've spoken about it in other videos that I've done. With a pressed powder, they are the ones that I do pop into my makeup bag. I have a little makeup bag that is inside my handbag, and a powder is one thing that I do take with me in case I want to touch up when I'm out. And a pressed powder is always just that little bit more travel friendly. So the first powder they sent me, this is the Flawless Jade Breathable Pressed Powder. This has a soft matte finish. And also on the front of the packaging, just like on the other products in the Nomadic Glam collection, this is a vegan leather. And Florasis use artificial leather technology, and it offers a timeless appeal of leather carving dedicated to vegan and eco-friendly practices. It is ethical elegance and environmental responsibility. It really does look beautiful, and it just feels like leather, although of course it's not. And it has this beautiful design here as well. It's also in the vegan leather engraved in there, the special engraving that they do. But it also has the raised bit on here. It is really gorgeous. And inside you have a little puff, and again that's slightly coloured as well. And here is the powder in the pressed form, really beautiful. And again, as I'm putting my finger over it now, it just feels so fine and super smooth, really beautiful. So this powder comes in the 2 shades, the lighter shade here, and there's also a lavender shade as well. This has shine control. It is also described as breathable silk protein powder, and they say that it blurs and smooths the complexion. And if it's anything like the loose powder, then it certainly will. It does have a blurring and a smoothing effect. And like I was saying, it just feels silky smooth, really, really beautiful. The next powder that they sent me is the Airbrush Tinted Pressed Powder. This gives a glowing soft matte complexion, and again they say it's ultra light powder. And it also includes orchid, japonica, lotus flower and peach blossom, just like the other powder, both of them. And like the other Florasis products, they are infused with those floral and botanical essences. So unlike the other one, this is a darker shade on the front, but again has that beautiful engraving in the faux leather and then the raised symbol on the front. And these powders are tinted, and it comes in 2 shades. and you've got the symbol engraved on the powder itself inside as well. And this is the first time that I've touched this one, this pressed powder, and again it just feels silky smooth, really beautiful. And I also forgot to mention that these powders are also talc free, so I am going to use both of the powders. What I'm going to do with the lighter powder that they sent me, I'm going to put this under my eyes because it is so fine and it's not an ultra matte powder or anything like that. This will go really beautifully under my eyes. So I'm just going to put this on just using my finger like I normally do with the powder that I put under my eyes. I just start in the inner corner and then just gently press underneath. And because it is so light, you can hardly feel it going on. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more there. But it's exactly what I want a powder to do, especially with my mature skin where I have wrinkles. I want it so it sets the foundation and concealer, but it doesn't dry down too much, because otherwise then the wrinkles start to become emphasized. At this stage, I think it just looks really beautiful. So with the tinted pressed powder, I'm going to use the puff and just press this in over the foundation. And I can see straight away, because this is the first time that I've used these pressed powders, I can see straight away it gives that same beautiful effect as that loose powder. And I think it's because it's just so finely milled, really beautiful. It just sets everything down. And when I press it in over my pores, it does give that slightly blurring effect and looks really lovely. And with that powder on and I run my finger over, my skin just feels, it feels silky smooth, really beautiful. So let's get into what is possibly the standout product of this collection, and that is the Into the Wild eyeshadow palette. It is gorgeous, and I have been sent eyeshadows from Florasis before, and I find that they perform really beautifully, and they have this really gorgeous embossing in the palettes as well. So here is the outside packaging, absolutely beautiful. Again, it has that darker, that faux leather, and it also has the engraving in there as well, really gorgeous. It has the raised symbol. It also has some raised little domes here. It is beautiful, and it looks, it's that nomadic look, but it also looks really rustic as well. Very pretty. And inside the palette, and just like the pressed powders, you do have a generous size mirror inside. And here is the palette. It is just gorgeous. And inside this eyeshadow palette, not only do you have that really gorgeous embossing, just like other Florasis eyeshadow palettes, but you've also got these gorgeous earthy shades, really beautiful. And the order that I'm swatching these in, this is from left to right. I'm doing the top part first, then the middle, and then the bottom part last. So this shade here is Soft Sands, and that is a matte light brown. Next is Rich Earth, and that's a matte orange yellow. Then we've got Glittering Sunrise, an orange gold shimmer. Crushed Clay, a matte brick red. Then we've got Golden Dewdrop, that's a champagne shimmer. Midnight Waters, turquoise glitter, and then lastly is shade Fresh Topsoil, and that is a matte medium brown. Now with this Nomadic Glam collection, you can either buy the products individually or you can buy them as ready-made kits, and there's 3 different kits available. Or the other option you can do is perhaps you may want to buy the eyeshadow palette, and then you can add any other product that you want or products that you want. And as you do that, it's quite easy to see in the tab, but as you add the products, then they will include, and it'll tell you which extra gift will be included as well. Now, one of the gifts that you can get, depending on what you purchase, are these really beautiful. I think they're really gorgeous hair clips. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the lightest shade in here. And this is the one, this is called Soft Sands. Now this won't show up very much on my eye, but it's good for a base shade. So I'm going to put that all over my lid, through the crease, and up onto the brow bone as well. And next I'm going to go into the shade. This is the one Fresh Topsoil. This is a matte shade as well. And I'm just going to put this in my outer corner. And I'm going to take this through the crease as well. And take it above the crease. I think this is a really beautiful shade. These shades are buildable. So you can have a really soft look or build it up to something just a little bit more bold. Then I'm going to use that same shade that I just put on my outer corner, and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. And I'm going to go into this gorgeous shade here. This is the one Midnight Waters, and I'm going to put this over the rest of my lid through here. This is a really, really pretty shade. Then I'm going to go into the shade here. This is the one called Glittering Sunrise. And I'm going to put a little bit of this on my lower lash line as well. And I'm just going to put some through here. And I think it's going on really nicely. So I think I will pop a little bit of this in the inner corner as well. So I just popped on just a little bit of eyeliner on my upper lash line and a little bit on the lower as well. And also mascara. And here is the finished look. And I think this is really pretty. I love this through here. It's not chunky. You've got that little bit of glam, as it is, the Nomadic Glam Collection. You've got the mattes as well, and you've got this little sparkle through here. And it just looks, I think it looks really pretty. Now I'm also going to use this eyeshadow palette for my blush as well. And I'm going to use this shade here. And this is the shade Crushed Clay. And then I'm going to use this shade over here for highlight. So just go into here. I'm not quite sure how to lay down. I'll go fairly carefully, but I think it's going to look quite beautiful on the cheeks. Just go in again just to build it up a little bit more. I wasn't too sure how it would go as a blush, but it definitely is buildable. And I think that looks really pretty as a blush. And I do sometimes with other eyeshadow palettes as well. I use the eyeshadow if I like the shade for a blush as well. And I think this looks really pretty, and it goes beautiful, of course, with the eye look. So the next shade I'm going to use, and that's to do a little bit of highlighting, and that is the shade here. This is Golden Dewdrop. So I just put a little bit of this just through here, and I'll also buff it out because it's, I only use a tiny amount. Just tap the brush very lightly into the pan, and there is great pickup. So I'm just going to just buff this out a little bit. So now let's take a look at the lipstick. It is lipstick, not lipsticks, like I said at the beginning of the video. I thought there were two different shades, but they're both the same, and they both are called Sacred Warmth. And these are called the Blooming Rouge Ultra Smooth Satin Liquid Lipsticks. And the outside packaging is really beautiful. And here is the packaging of the lipstick itself. It is really gorgeous. And inside they have the doe foot applicator. So Florasis say that this is a full coverage lipstick that glides over lip lines for a subtle satin sheen. One swipe of lustrous colour leaves a plush feel that dries down to a non-drying, comfortable lip. They say these are smudge and transfer resistant. Enjoy all day wear as the ultra smooth formula applies evenly and dries down to a buildable film on the lips. And just like with the other products, this also has skincare ingredients as well, and these are supposed to be really moisturizing. So I'll just swatch this on the back of my hand so you can take a look. So this is Sacred Warmth, and it is quite opaque. Now, those of you that have watched my other videos know that normally, most of the time, I use quite a light lipstick. I do go for a more bold lipstick every now and then. So it'll be interesting to see what this one is like on. It does look like a really beautiful shade. We'll see how it goes on. Well, it does glide on really easily, and I like the shape of the doe foot because you can be quite precise. Because some of them can be that they can be a little bit clumsy and then you end up going outside the lines of your lips. But this goes on really beautifully. So I think, just wondering whether I like the shade. Often when I wear dark shades on camera, I say I don't like them on me. And then I get comments from people saying, I really love that shade on you. This one isn't as bold as I thought it was going to be, and I do think it goes beautifully with the whole collection. It goes beautifully with the eye look and the blush as well. This is a shade that I would wear now that I've got it on. It's not too out there for me, and it'll probably take a little while to dry down. And as it is drying down, it's not going to a flat matte or anything like that. And I don't like lipsticks that do that because they tend to emphasize the lines that you have on your lips. And this still has a satin type of finish, and I think it looks really pretty. So what I'll do when I upload this video, I will pin a comment and let you know how this lipstick wore in case you're interested in it. But at this stage, it feels very comfortable on the lips, and like I said, I do love the applicator, how it keeps it really precise without going outside the lines. And I think it looks really flattering on the lips as well, and it definitely isn't drying down to that really flat matte. And it only took really one swipe. I went over a little bit more, but it is quite an opaque lipstick as well. But as I said, I'll let you know how it wore in a pinned comment. So here is the finished look, and altogether I think this is really beautiful. I've now turned my fan on because it's starting to get very warm in the room here, but I think the look is really beautiful. The foundation looks gorgeous. I think it's very flattering on my mature skin. I think this whole Nomadic Glam collection is gorgeous. I was saying at the beginning of the video, when I first saw the photos of it, I was drawn to it immediately. Gives that open space, rural feeling and freedom with the horses. Just a really gorgeous collection. I think the eyeshadow is beautiful. I think you can get a lot of different looks with this eyeshadow palette. If you want, you can just stick to using the matte shades and get a really pretty look. The other thing is that the embossing tends to stay on the eyeshadow palettes for quite a while. Eventually, after some use, it would start to disappear, but with the first few uses, you definitely still get that really beautiful embossing. I thought that this shade in the middle worked out really beautifully as a blush, and this shade here, gorgeous as highlight as well. It has got that beautiful sparkle to it, but it really buffed out. So this would go gorgeous on the eyes, be really beautiful. I think this shade here, together with this one, and then pop that over the top, I think that would look gorgeous. But I just love this whole earthy color story, really beautiful. The powder that I put on my face still feels silky smooth like when I first put it on. And the powder under my eyes, I'm just having got a little bit of a hair there. Powder under my eyes is looking really good. It hasn't gone down or to a flat matte type of powder. It looks really flattering under the eyes. So really good to know that not only are these powders great with my oily, mature skin for my face, but also under the eyes as well. And the lipstick, I don't really go for, I find this is a bold colour because, as you know, I tend to wear more lighter nude type of lipsticks, but I do think it goes beautifully with the eyeshadow and of course also the blush, and it definitely is cohesive for the whole look, and it still feels really beautiful on the lips. So one of the taglines for this collection from Florasis, it is satisfy your wanderlust and connect with nature in all her rich hues. And I think that's exactly what this collection does. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, it may be that Florasis also give me some type of discount code, and if they have, I will pop it under here, and it will also be in the description box below. So have a click through my links below and take a look at the website. As I was saying before, you can buy a one-off product, you can buy a few and add just to get some free gifts, or there are these 3 different really beautiful kits that you can purchase as well. So once again, thank you Florasis for collaborating with me on this video and for sponsoring it, and a big thank you to Amanda. She has been a delight to deal with. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.